But anyway, we've had a long and wonderful history. He's a good friend, and lo and behold, I was so surprised. Well, anyway, he's got these books. They're on Amazon, and I thought I would introduce these to you on behalf of Dan, because I always have a forum. I can go to an arena, I get thousands of people. I don't care. But Dan doesn't have quite the audience that I do. So humble. No, I know. So Dan's written this incredible series of books. They're called A Lighthearted Look at America. The first one that he wrote, this guy is prodigious, by the way. 3 large print, wide margin books in the last 10 years. This guy is kicking this stuff out. Yeah. Anyway, he started with this one called A Lighthearted Look at American Anxiety, and if any of you have anxiety or think you may have, thank you, sir. Well, this book, the thing about all these books is they're not only informative and mildly hilarious, and you can use the pages for hygienic purposes if you need to while you're in the bathroom reading these books, but you also learn a lot about anxiety and how Americans cope with anxiety. You know, how do we? I haven't read this book yet. Oh, with a preface. I guess we deal with anxiety with a preface. Anyway, introduction to roots of anxiety: sleep, aromatherapy, exercise, meditation, drugs, special section for your anxious children. I guess we know what that's about, Ritalin, right? Pets, yoga. So that was quite a hilarious book, which I read in my bathroom. And so then here's a second book, was written by Dan, whatever his name is. A Lighthearted Look at American Civic Engagement, which happens to be mostly about the polar plunge. I don't know how many of you have done the polar plunge. In Wisconsin, it's truly polar. I'm still recovering. But the pièce de résistance, how much time do I have here, Greg?
Another hour.
To live? Oh, you wow. I got to talk even faster. Okay, so here's the latest book, the trilogy, the pièce de résistance, the crème de la crème, the third book, called A Lighthearted Look at American Death. A hilarious look at the way Americans die. On the back cover, you can see that for most Americans, death is more frightening and mysterious than Donald Trump's hair. See, there's a lot of that kind of stuff in there, in these books. Which you can get, by the way, folks. Lighthearted Look at American whatever. You can get them on Amazon. You can buy the Kindle version for $1, which I know is about 65 cents too much. Just let me know, I'll give you 50 cents. But you can download the book, and you just leave 5 stars. You don't need to even use words anymore, like good, or I couldn't understand it, or what a doofus. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You just leave the stars. Leave the $1, I'll give you 50 cents. I got a bunch of these books coming. We're going to kick off a party in a couple weeks, but I'd rather you go to Amazon because it's all about ranking. Okay, how much time do I have? We're going to read from these hilarious books. Just 4 minutes of reading. I'll only take 3. Okay, here we go. I want to read from these books. Assuming, I should note, it will happen this way. Thank you. I've enjoyed reading these to you, my friend. Now, hold on. No. Can I get a page number anywhere from 1 to 100? We'll just read something.
22!
22, there's nothing on any of the 22.
That's weird.
22 from the latest death book, Euphemisms. If we were to ask you what you are thinking about right now, chances are that death comes quickly to mind. Of course, the fact that you're reading a book about death may have some bearing on the matter, but that influence may be slight, especially if it is this book. It is likely that were you to set this book aside while you finish in the bathroom, then have a bagel and work on a crossword puzzle until you're blocked in by a clue about geography, you would still be thinking about death. If you wish, we will wait here while you attempt to forget thinking about death. Can I get another page? 17. We'll try what's happening in civic engagement. I won't take too much more of your time, but it's kind of fun. 17 in, what is this book? A lighthearted look at American civic engagement leads you to a quiz. There's lots of quizzes in these books. This one is How American Are You? According to the Pew Research Center, Pew is not a funny name. In addition, more Americans than ever are participating in civic life. A heartening finding given the apparent political divide among Americans, according to Pew. We see some of you laughing. Telephone pole, never mind about that. Anyway, that one's it's pretty fun. Okay, one more. How much time do I have?
2 minutes.
We'll do one. Okay. Another, how about a lighthearted look at American anxiety? Somebody give me a number.
Woo!
55.
What?
55.
55? I'm going to leave these books on my piano. You can take a look at them, which would be great. But don't take these books. I mean, you can if you want. Page 55, we are looking at I don't know, aromatherapy. Oh, goody. From these animal studies and some early clinical studies on humans, there's mounting data to objectively support the common experience that scent may impact one's behavior or physiology. In one study, scientists asked women volunteers their reactions to petri dishes containing samples of armpit sweat collected from a rabbi, a priest, and a squirrel monkey. Most reported overwhelming feelings of guilt, although one filed a paternity suit. In another study, male volunteers smelled vials of women's tears prior to the men performing various tests, concluding that their golf games appeared not at all affected. The scientists, that is. And there's so much more. Okay, thank you for listening. Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
All right, buddy.